hear myself? Can I hear myself? Can I hear myself? Okay, so let's talk at this volume and we'll go to 50. All right. I need to talk a lot louder, it would appear. Thank God I looked at this text. You're on mute. Thanks, Mike. My cousin texting me from 9 different places. Mike, thank you. Colin, thank you. Everyone for letting me know the mic was on. Trust me, I was saying nothing good. But I'll go back over it. So this is an important stream. This is the Ender 3. I did the camera. She saw it. Ender 3 V3 SE. So this is coming off the heels of, I believe, the Ender 3 S1, which was the last iteration of like the Ender 3. And it really didn't make much improvements. It had that really cool hot end, the Sprite, which I love. Awesome direct drive hot end, very light, very compact, and super high flow rate. So we can push a lot of filament through it very quickly. As a matter of fact, I have one on my Aquila and it works awesome. So that was like kind of the last Ender 3 upgrade iteration. This comes after that and it's really cool. I think it's going to be one of the most important 3D printers for our community at large. Yeah, thank you again, Mike. And the reason for that is this comes equipped with auto bed leveling. That means we have a bed probe. I think it's a CR Touch that's going to probe our bed, get us a mesh, and then more importantly, all right, so I said this when I was on mute. My voice killing me. I'm drinking tea. I apologize. More importantly with this 3D printer is the auto Z offset adjustment. That's awesome. So Z offset, another really important feature that beginners find a hard time with. Kind of a hard concept to even understand. You know, the distance between where our probe triggers a bed and our nozzle. We have to make that offset up some. We have to calibrate it. This is going to do it for us. That is huge. Probably second to bed leveling is adjusting for your Z offset. That is what beginners stumble over. So the fact that this printer can do it all and do it for $200, that's insane. So, I mean, it's supposed to do all that. We're going to find out today. And also, I got an email today. This was sent to me for free by geekbuying.com. Make sure I'm getting that right. And they gave me a coupon code. How the heck does Auto Z work? We're going to find out. It's really awesome. You're going to see. I'm so unprofessional today. It's really bad. I got home late and I didn't get a lot of time to set up, and I apologize. All right. Geekbuying.com. Thank you very much. Sending me this printer and a coupon code. So I have it in the description of this video. $158 plus free shipping, I'm assuming plus tax, for this 3D printer. That's insane. This kind of hits both sides of the 8 ball for us. This is great for beginners, someone who, if you have someone in your life, then for holidays or they're asking you about 3D printing, probably great for them. But it's also good for us 3D printers who have a lot of machines and we don't mind modifying them or adding them. It's a sub $200 printer that we're going to be able to throw a clipper onto. Now, we're not going to be able to use that Auto Z offset adjust because the way it's implementing in here, Colin, which I'll explain. But we still have a really good, supposedly, 3D printer that has some linear rails, that's going to have a CR Touch or a bed probe equipped already, and that can likely be modified. So this is going to be a really, really cool 3D printer. I think it's going to hit a lot of different segments of our community of who's going to want it. Most importantly, beginners. You know, if you're trying to get someone into 3D printing or they're asking you how to get in. Oh no. Better. You know what, better? Wednesdays I'm going to start streaming, but you stream all the time. So we're going to run this back a million times, but I think if I had to choose, I would choose your stream. You know what you're doing. You're set up already. You got it under control. So I appreciate you stopping by, brother. But we'll do another, you know, we'll figure our streaming schedules out at one point. Maybe we do a dual stream at some point. I'm actually streaming also on Friday. I have a out of nowhere stream. I just got the Comgro T500 in. It got shipped to my house yesterday. That is a gigantic, kind of the opposite of this, gigantic 3D printer. It is a 500 by 500 by 500 millimeter 3D printer. It's huge. We're gonna have a fun time on Friday just opening it up. and seeing what's in the box. And to be honest, the box is huge. It's almost as big as me. So let's find out what's in this box. One really cool thing, it's lightweight. The last couple 3D printers I've unboxed, the Quiddy, the Kingroom KLP1, which is smaller, they're heavy. They're just big, heavy boxes. This was so lightweight, I almost thought it was like a box of filament someone had dropped off me. It wasn't bad at all. Better, what are you doing tonight? What Creality machine? All right. Let's see. Nice packaging, as always. It's a Creality machine. We don't expect anything different. Let me give you all a better shot of this as we go through. I got a new stand after last stream because that stand was just irritating me. Let's see if we can get this right. Okay. So we're in the box. And what's the first thing we have? CR10 SE? Ooh, I don't even know what that is. There's so many acronyms going on out there. Obviously, the V3 SE, I have to imagine it's just a larger version of this. Pretty awesome. So, if you don't know, 3D Print SOS, Feder from that channel, he's in our chat right now. Awesome channel, awesome stream, awesome helper of the community. Go to his channel, subscribe, like, go to his stream, but then come right back, please, because we're still doing this. All right, so let's see. What's in the box here? We got some stickers, really cool. Quick installation guide. Very nice. I like reading this. I mentioned this last time. I love reading the docs. Not sure why. I've always done it. Oh my goodness. So this is awesome. This is really cool. Normally we get these really thin bed needles or needles to fix jams. This is not. This is a rod, probably a 1.6 millimeter steel rod. And this is absolutely the best tool to clear jam. If you were to go on Amazon, and I've talked to people in the past about this, I'm going to keep my voice up for everyone. They have an unclogger tool. The no clog tool is about $20. It's a great tool. It's your clogs. That little skinny needle really does nothing to help you clear a jam. This thing is the absolute best. So the fact that this is included in the box gets me so excited. I got one of these from another printer a long time ago. I can't remember which brand, but this is invaluable. I honestly think that this has cleared me. I literally had so many jams in the past that having this is a great benefit. So I'm very happy they included this. The way we clear jam with this is we'll open the hot end, especially because this is direct drive. Extruder is directly on top of the hot end. We'll open up or take tension off one of the extruder gears, like you would if you were inserting filament. We stick this down while the hot end's very hot, and we just push that jam, that clog, that filament out of the nozzle. This is awesome. Very excited. Yeah, those needles are really only good to stab yourself. I'm not even joking. So let me show you the difference between the needle. I'm going to stab myself. So, gee, did I lose it? Here's the needle. Here is the needle they tell you not to worry about. I mean, it don't look that bad, I guess, off stream. But it is, I mean, a world of difference. This does nothing. This will solve all your problems. So, why I even keep these needles, I don't know. I don't use them for the purpose that they're meant to, which is clearing jams. But this is awesome. So, worthy inclusion by Creality. I thank you very much. Moving on. Do you all want that light on? You could turn it off for now unless someone speaks up. Quick installation guide. From what I understand, thanks, Feder. I'll catch you later, brother. I'll be watching your stream probably tomorrow if I get a chance at work when I get some time. Thank you, man. I appreciate you stopping by. After sales service card, some really cool stickers. Are they stickers? Yeah, they're stickers. All right. That's cool. Whatever. You know, nice little package. So the quick installation guide is very thin, which is a good thing. And if we went over it very briefly, we're going to see, I don't know that there's all that many steps to this. That was the second page even. So It looks like it's coming in like basically 2 pieces. We're going to do a couple connection snaps, and we should be up and running, and I can't wait to see if this has live Z offset adjustment. Yeah, those needles are just completely worthless, unfortunately. They've included them for far too long. All right, we have another bag of goodies. So what is in this? Okay, so Creality sample filament. I never use this. People yell at me for it, but I just find that I don't know what kind of filament this is. I mean, I know it's probably PLA, even though it doesn't say it. Or does it? It does. No, it doesn't. I just don't know what kind of quality it is, and it's only a little bit, so I just trust what I have. When I want to know printers are working, I use my stuff. A few bags of screws, an additional nozzle, and that nozzle looks a little larger than normal. I don't know that that's the normal. I don't think that is the normal Sprite hot end nozzle right here. It's a little larger than normal. I don't know if I have one on hand. I mean, I should. So I could be wrong. Ow. But I believe this is the hot end nozzle that came with the Sprite. The normal Sprite from Creality, hot end. And this nozzle is just, I don't know, if I had to say, 5 millimeters longer, something like that, which could be annoying in the long run because it means finding nozzles can be a little harder, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. Okay, USB drive as well as a larger SD adapter, if that's your jam. This is actually pretty cool. I've never seen one like this. USB drive, and then SD card, large SD card. And you can even plug the SD into the USB, work it like that. I've never seen one like that. Very cool. Usually you have to take the mini SD out and put it in. I also don't use a lot of those anymore because we're running Clipper on all our machines and we don't really deal with SD cards. Screw, 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 screw. USB, our tool kit, and then we have some snippers. Standard, normal Creality style filament snippers. That's cool. It's the normal accoutrement, as I like to say. Put it all back in the bag. We'll keep the screws out for now. Keep the USB out for now as well. Besides the nozzle, it has another adapter plate or something in here. It's plastic. Let's put this filament back. So this, I believe, has the same size, build volume size as a normal Ender 3, which would be 220, 220, 250. But that can be stretched to 235, 250 if we do some work in the firmware. So I'm not sure how that will work out ultimately, but we'll keep an eye on it. Scissors over here. Okay. So I'm taking this kind of slow because I have a feeling unboxing and the actual assembly is going to be like that. So we're going a little slow. I'm not going to do a super long stream today. We did like 3 hours last time. That next, so the one in the bag I showed that was brass, that was an extra nozzle, and it looks a little bigger. And I was just comparing it to what I have on hand, which is the old Sprite, the Creality Sprite nozzles. And the Sprite nozzles are smaller than the nozzles that came with this machine. That's a little worrying or troubling. Can't be sure though. We'll look into that a little later. Yeah, there should be a nozzle installed already. They usually give you one extra. Usually you get a hardened steel one extra. This is just another brass. Screen. Haven't used one of these in ages, but looks pretty cool. Looks really small actually. It looks compact. I don't remember my Ender 3 V2 with the glass bed looking this small, but whatever. If it works, it works. No qualms about that. Power cable. I mean, voila. And we have a filament holder, which is going to mount on the top of the machine. So I can see some stepper motors already. So that's all in our second layer. And here we go. I see the frame. Stepper motors, I think you all can see. Let's see if we can just take this guy out of here. So there it is. Looks nice. Super thin extrusion. I wasn't expecting that. So it's got a different style of extrusion. Obviously, it's it's flat on the front, so no, it's not the normally, what is it, 2020 extrusion or 4020 extrusion. This is flat, so it looks nice. And then the back of it has just a single groove right here, and then right here it's like 10 by 10, like that. So interesting, a little different. The stepper motor, so the stepper motor right here appears to be working. We zip tied. The x-axis is running just right there. I'm just looking at it because there's 2 pulleys down here that's running the belt, which I don't think we see that. Usually it's just a single pulley on either side and then a tensioner. And I don't really see any way to tension the belt here. So I'm assuming it's done underneath. I suspect. We'll get into that though. So, as you can see from the back, dual Z. That means we're having 2 different Z rods that are going to move our gantry up and down. They're connected with this belt right here. They're connected with the belt right here, and there's only one stepper motor that's driving them. There's no stepper motor over here. So I had an old video about like 3 different ways to do a dual Z axis. Mr. Ed, you are not late, brother. We just opened this box. We're going slow because this is probably going to, I'm sorry I'm snapping so much. This is going to go so quick. We just got this top part of the printer out. We're looking at some of the extrusion and now the dual Z. So this would be a timing belted dual Z. That means this stepper motor right down here, which if you were looking dead on would be the left side, this is going to run this Z rod, and that is going to impart its movement through this belt to time it to this Z rod. So you're going to have dual Z access or dual Z movement, that is the vertical movement, and it's going to be through this timing belt. Only a single stepper motor, perfectly fine. Everyone asks me because I did the 3 different. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, man. I know. I mean, listen. It'll be in the VODs. Is that what the cool guys say? Like, it just once it goes live and you can watch it again. I don't know if you're going to want to, but you can. Friday is going to be the fun stream. Please stick around Friday. We're going to open that massive printer. So I did 3 different dual Zs. I did a timing belt version. I did a 2-stepper motor version. And then I did the double belted version by Kevin, aka Sam. Everyone asked me which one's my favorite. The double belted is my favorite, but which one prints better? Quite honestly, they all print about the same. Maybe the Kevin, aka Sam one prints a little better, but I could just be a little biased towards it because I absolutely love it. Smaller stepper motor right here on the X-axis gantry, which is cool. So what is it? It's a 4215. So we're going to have a little less weight on our X-axis, which is good if we're doing some fast printing. The hot end looks, I mean, the cover looks nice. Nothing new back here. Do we have an eccentric? We have an eccentric nut right down here. We have eccentric nuts. None at all on our Z-axis. So that's good. It's one less thing for people to have to tune and worry about. I do see there's going to be some ways to open and access that, so maybe there is an adjustment in there. All right, so it looks good so far. It looks nice and clean so far. I'm going to put the top part down. We're going to take the bed out, and then we're going to start putting it together. All right, we see some bed. We see some cabling. What looks cheap? I binge VODs. Do the plastics feel cheap? No, not really, to be honest with you. I'll bring it back up so we can look. They don't really feel that cheap at all. I mean, this is all aluminum, so that feels good. This, you know, it's, whatchamacallit? It's not bad at all. I mean, what's cool, it is all 3D printed. So this, not 3D printed. This is all plastic. So this is all plastic. This is all plastic right here. So that means we can do some modifications. All plastic. It looks perfectly fine. It looks perfectly fine. It feels fine. It doesn't feel cheap. I mean, that's our business is plastics, right? It doesn't feel at all. I mean, it's injection molded, so it's going to feel different to us. But it's cool that this is all stuff that we can print, we can modify, and we can make it our own. That means we can make the color scheme different. We can do a whole bunch of different things to it. But no, I wouldn't say it feels cheap. It feels fine. I mean, it's a Creality printer, right? What I was saying earlier was, so this was sent to me by geekbuying.com, who I'm supposed to send the link to this live. I apologize. I hope you're watching. They gave me this printer for free just for the purposes of doing a review, which is going to come out. And I told them I'd live stream it. And they sent me a coupon code today. This printer, 158 with the coupon code and free shipping. You can't beat that. Because this is also a printer that we can put clipper on. We know that. Now, for a lot of people, that's not going to be the case. This is going to be a great beginner printer. Like my cousin who's in Texas right now, hopefully watching, doesn't really, I mean, he knows enough about 3D printing because he hears me talk about it, but he's never 3D printed. If he wanted to get into it, and he only had a little bit of money, which I think he does right now, until he actually becomes, it doesn't matter. This is a great printer. For less than $200, auto Z offset, auto bed leveling, and you're just going to get up and print. So really, and you can always modify it down the line to Clipper. You're not going to have that auto Z offset, which is fine, because the way this does it is a load cell or a load sensor. Clipper doesn't support that yet. But you'll be able to get everything else that Clipper adds and more. So, I really don't want to come out. All right, that's it. That's the bed. It is nice and lightweight. Is there anything else in this box? I don't think so. Going down. Okie dokie. Bring you all down here. Okie doke. Here's the base. Not a PE. Oh, look at this. What's going on here? Do you see that? That is a lot of movement. Let's take this out. Oh wow, these are so loose right now. So that's kind of upsetting because for me it's not going to be an issue obviously, but for a beginner, which is who I'm thinking this printer is for, they're not going to know what to do with this. This is a super loose, super shaky build plate. And that's going to be, I'm assuming I should be able to, so there's no bed leveling knobs under here, which is great. Love that for beginners. But there is screws, there's like plastic standoffs, if you could see. There's like plastic standoffs right there, bed spacers really, and screws. And that's how it's supposed to be held tight in place. Bed probe's supposed to do the rest, but there should be screws right down here. Look at this one. This one is coming off the printer right now. I don't know if you can see this. Look at this. This is about reality. I mean, I understand this is a test unit. You can't this. I wish you look how high up and out that is. You can't do that, reality. Someone that gets this as their first printer, which is a great look at both these on the side. Hi, Nako. This is crazy. This is one screw. I can take this out of my hand right now. Look at this. Out. Out. The bed is off. That's so crazy. That's upsetting. I really want to like this printer. That is upsetting though. You imagine telling someone this is a great printer, they go out, they buy it. This is in the way now. And then they get like 3 prints in, like, oh, this thing sucks. It doesn't get any print. And you go and you see their bed and it's doing this, like this Kevin Bacon sort of flash dance. That's crazy. That's upsetting. All right, annoyed. We'll move on. So, light back on. For us, it's not a big deal. Also, we talked about this in the Discord today, in B. Cuddy's Rook. They're not hex screws, they're just regular Phillips screws, which is nothing wrong with that, it's just, it's uncommon. So I have to tighten down both of these. Let's see if we have a regular screwdriver. That's annoying. Okay, so these are loose too. We'll tighten these down. Quality control should get better. I guess that'll be noted. So no knobs. Yes, I think you could add concern about clipper, screw, tilt, adjust. Well, there's no bed leveling knobs here. The way you would level this bed if you have to is doing exactly what I'm doing right now. You would have to screw it down or loosen it a little bit and it would just raise up. Was it gonna raise? No. You know what though? You could put your own bed adjustment knobs on this. So all we're doing right here, quite literally what I just did is this screw came out, right? We all saw that come out. So this is about a, I don't know, 20, 30 millimeter screw, something like this. It barely reaches when I put it all the way down. It barely reaches the bottom of that. So if you went like for a 40 millimeter, 45, something like that, you could put it all the way through. You could change these silicone, these plastic standoffs to springs, and you could make your own bed leveling knob. So it can be done. Now, it shouldn't have to be done, but it absolutely can be done. But in general, this is what you would do. You would loosen them a little bit if necessary, or you would mostly want to tighten them. You don't want your bed jangling around. So, okay. I was the newbie. Actually, watch your video to level my bed. Listen, we're all newbies sometimes. Don't worry about it. It's not easy. Leveling the bed is really hard. So the fact that, I mean, it should show you that it's really hard because all these 3D printers are attempting to take that out of our hands. So it's hard. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. But this should help us. Although now it looks like it's actively hurting us. But all right, so besides that, here's the bed. It looks a little cheap just because it's all plastic right here. This is all plastic. I mean, it's not bad by any means. It just seems a little cheap. I remember my ER20, the Uri-One ER20, which I thought was a great 3D printer for beginners. That had a similar, it was fatter, plastic base. Made it seem a little cheap, but you know, I don't really care. If the 3D printer works well and the price is right, you know, to hell with aesthetics. So we have to check our voltage in the back. It is set to 230 volts, which is not what I need. I need 115 because I'm in America. I am in New York. Actually in Long Island, New York, if you're familiar. We're the end, the complete most eastern point of the continental United States, I believe is Montauk, which is here on Long Island. So we switched our voltage from 230 to 115, so our printer starts properly. Yeah, we definitely could make this, Colin, if we wanted to, to have bed springs if necessary. We really shouldn't though, but if we had to, we could. Okay, so it looks cheap. We have a... Get a little closer here. So this is a belt with, it looks like an adjustment here because this is probably how you adjust the Z tension. It's moving back and forth. It's also on these guide rails that it's moving back and forth on underneath. Motion feels fine. It sounds a little rough because like there's little bearings below the motion, where the rods are connecting that are running along the bottom of the bed. Seems fine though. Our strain relief cable is in place, and right here there is an extra cable right here, which is going to be, I believe, that load cell, and you can't, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to see it, but if you notice there's a little PCB board or connection down there, you can see it there. That's going to be what the where the load cell hooks up. And what a load cell does, or the easiest way to think of it, I have one here. This is like a a measurement, like a food scale. The scale, that's all it is. So this is just a cheap version of it, but it's doing the same thing. As I put my finger on this, the load cell is detecting it and it's increasing. That's exactly what this is going to do. Our nozzle is going to touch this bed during the calibration, and that load cell will obviously get readings. And it's reading when the nozzle is contacting the bed, and it's going to subtract that distance from our probed distance, and that'll get us the Z offset, where the probe triggers, where the nozzle is. But it works just similar to something like this. It's just reading the touch, the stress that touching this is causing. This uses a load cell, this uses a load cell. So very cool, awesome implementation. Not available in Clipper though right now. Probably not for a while, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. Do we need it? Not necessarily, especially if we're on Clipper. Usually that means we're a little more hands-on and we can adjust our Z offset. Doesn't mean it's easy, but we can do it. Is New York City so? No, I think that was all whatever. Someone put that in a bill somewhere to do something. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, you say that, but why? I mean, complete ignorance to put something like that in a bill or propose, you know, it's just whatever. Buzzword at the time, never gonna happen. So, nothing really came of it, nothing should come of it. Let's keep going. Okay, so we have our bed, we have everything. Do you all want me to open up the bottom of this and take a look at the main board? This is all aluminum. You can see the power supply is right back here. We have the cabling over here. Or you want me to just get a print with it? Yeah, cheap solutions are great, especially when it works. Also, end stop for the Y-axis. I wasn't sure how they were doing it. They're doing an end stop. Should we just get it all together? So this is not PEI. I'm not really sure what this is, actually. We have steel. It's spring steel. This is that normal Ender 3 covering that they use on most. All the Ender 3s that came out of the factory have this same or similar bed sheet. It works perfectly fine. I like PEI a lot better. I actually have a ton of PEI sheets, so I might end up using one. But this will work. Like it says 220 on our bed size. This is 220. We can probably expand it if we wanted to, maybe. Obviously, we have to keep out for these screws that are holding on what? I don't know. What are they holding on? Absolutely nothing. Oh, I guess it's just standoffs for the bed to slide into. Makes sense. Like Colin said, cheap solutions are easy but elegant solutions. That's perfect. PC, is it polycarbonate? Yeah. They work. I think it's fine. I've had more issues with over adherence than under adherence with this stuff, which means usually you would want to use a glue stick or something to help take your prints off the bed. But the glue stick is just so messy on these. I don't like to do it, so I have a million PEI sheets. I'll go over to it at some point. Let's start building this 3D printer. Let me start some tea. Oh, we gotta plug it in. All right. We got our tea going. This is a Wu Yi Oolong. Very good, very dark. Let's look at this quick installation guide real quick. That's the name. So we have ways of, I guess, signing up for the Creality Cloud. We will not be doing that today. It talks about our storage card. Here's everything in the box. Assembly. So the gantry frame, just as expected, we're just going to slot this gantry, the top frame, directly onto the bed. It's only 6 screws, 3 on each side, and then 2 screws in the back. I'm not sure for what. I'll look at that when I'm not upside down. Let's start with that, though, putting the top gantry onto the bed. And that is going to use what screws? Place the gantry in M3 by 14. So let's find our M3 by 14. Hopefully it's labeled M3 by 14. They are labeled, in fact, which is good. They gave us 6, exactly enough. Is there a way to make this semi-Wi-Fi functional? That's a good question. I don't know yet. I have to imagine this uses the Creality printer. I'm not sure what it's called. And I have to imagine that's Wi-Fi capable. I think it has Wi-Fi connect with that. But, you know, it's been a while since I've used a Marlin-based 3D printer, Marlin firmware. So I don't know how Wi-Fi capable they are or how quickly you can get it. If we wanted to, we could very quickly flash Clipper onto this, and I could have it Wi-Fi capable in about 3 minutes. But as it stands here, I'm not too sure. We're going to look further into that. Maybe not during this live stream, but eventually when my full review for this comes out, which is going to be pretty shortly, I'll look into that and I'll find out. I got a feeling, though, we're stuck with an SD card manually walking over and touching it every time. Okay. So the best way I do it, or the way I like to do it, is placing it on. It's going to be the worst camera angles. I apologize. I bring it off one side of my bed so I have on my table so I can access the bottom. And then does this slot right in? Oh, it does. Oh, that's really cool. All right, so there's actually slots at the bottom right here. Kink, kink, for the extrusion to fall into. If you see that, like, triangular shape, sort of, I guess. It almost looks like an iron. That is an extrusion slot, so I can actually slot it right in. So this is going to make it a lot easier for us. There we go. So it's basically stable in place right now. So, as you can see, it's kind of stable in place. I could move it, but obviously we have to put the screws in it. But it makes putting the screws in a lot easier. Usually in the old engines, you have to hold this and get under it and do all these sort of things. For this, it's in place. The Uri 1 ER20 did the same exact thing. You were able to put the screws in. And I thought that was great at the time. I thought that was a really underspoken about printer, especially when you can get it on sale. Oh no, Frank, ask all the questions away, man. I don't mind at all. I mean, you don't know. I could have covered it already or something. Or it also gives me ideas for the video. I might not even considered that, but now I know. All right, that's something I should look into and answer in the end video. So I appreciate that. Don't ever apologize for questions. Or don't ever think twice about asking questions. And again, I'm sorry about my voice. It's killing me as much, I'm sure, as it's killing you. We're kind of far away. It's a trip not to see. I know, right? The no V-rail. It's interesting. I like it. I don't, I never disliked the V-rails. We used to put slots in them and cover them, and they looked fine. But it's, everything's trending upward. Everything's trending differently. This is definitely, the new aesthetic, which is fine. Right. I'm gonna get under here now. Probably do it a little differently for the camera, but the old way is the best way. So underneath here, there are 3 screw holes. It's very easy to find. You know you're getting you're getting old when you get a Charlie horse from reaching across the table. In case you're wondering. Now, I like to not tighten these all the way. So I'm going to put these in, get them snug, go to the other side. Then I'm going to tighten those up. Then I'm going to come back here and finish tightening it. So I said this earlier. So sorry about that. If you weren't here, I think this is an important printer. I didn't think that at all when it first came out. I didn't think much of it. I figured it was just another Ender 3 along the series. A million acronyms, V3SE. It was coming like as a line of 3. What was that? But for $200 or sub $200, you get a 3D printer that's great for beginners. And it's modifiable. So great for beginners. It's going to give us auto Z offset, auto bed leveling, and you should be able to print relatively easily with it. And then for us 3D printers who are a little more in the game or have more printers and want to modify them, it's going to take modifications really well. We could put clipper on this if we wanted to. We can add different, I don't know what you would do to the hot end, which I'm looking at right now, to make it differently, but you could. You could modify a whole slew of things on here if you really wanted to. We could get Wi-Fi capabilities with clipper. We get webcam capabilities with clipper. So for less than $200, this is awesome, I think, if it works. I really don't like what we saw with the bed. John, I know you just got here probably, but the bed was super wobbly when we opened the box. One of the screws was basically come on both sides. 2 screws on one side along one side of the bed were basically coming out, or basically out. So that was not cool to see. Yeah, this is where the cool people are hanging out, Kev. And then they include me, thankfully. They let me hang out too. All right. Another Charlie horse, we're good. My T is probably oversteeped at this point. Not happy about that. All right, so we are finishing up the 6 screws that are holding in the top gantry here. In general, I usually square these gantries up when I assemble them with the top and the base. But because this has slots and the new extrusion actually fit into those slots, there's no wiggle room. There's nowhere for it not to go. Now, I will mention, because I see it right now, the stepper motor for the Z right here is, I don't know, 5 millimeters above the bed, not sitting on anything. Kind of weird. Unless I'm putting a shim under it or something like that. I would think they would want it flat, unless they don't want the vibrations. In which case, we should probably print like a TPU foot, or just something. I actually have a few stupid TPU feet sitting around that I probably push under there. All right, so we're going to tighten these up. Not too much, obviously. This is a steel screw going to like aluminum. Strip the heck out of it. All right, and go back and just finish this side up. This is a gigantic departure from the days of the original Ender 3 when we put together the gantry and the Z-rod and then the X-axis and the hot end, and it all went together, and then we had to, it was harder. We're basically done right now. I put in 6 screws, and I'm pretty sure I'm done. You know, apart from a screen or something like that. So, printers together. Kind of crazy. Is there V-slots on the bottom? No, it's just aluminum sheet on the bottom, stamped out a little bit. This is all plastic, and then we have these new aluminum extrusions right here were flat, and then the back is like which is kind of cool. It just comes in, has a little extrusion, and then it's flat. So it's a different design. sleeker, I suppose, if you want to call it that. All right, let's get this tea out. Stop steeping. So this is an oolong tea. It's like on the higher end or the darker end of oolongs. Hopefully it will help my throat. What I did mention earlier, you guys might have missed it if you are just joining. Instead of a normal filament needle to get rid of clogs, this has like a 1.65 or 1.6 millimeter steel rod. This is the ultimate unclogger. I mean, I'm more enthused about this than anything else in this printer right now. I love this thing. Okay, so our gantry is in place, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. It is. I see 2 screw holes here. I have to put something in there, I suppose. Let's go on to the next step. So that was step 1, putting the top and the bottom on. Now we're going to go down to step 2, which is just mounting the screen, mounting the screen. Where is it? Here. The filament holder, and then a little bit of wiring. Where is those? Okay, so what is this? Bottom view. 3x14 screws. What the heck is this? Yeah, I saw that. Use 3x8 screws on. Okay. So on the back of this second unsupported, if you want to call it that, stepper right here, there's 2 additional screws we got to put in. So we'll do that right now. I think it's M3x8. M3x8, which is right here. I'm sorry, Colin, I missed that. How is Clipper compatible with this? Well, in general, Clipper's compatible with anything you can flash. It could flash onto the mainboard of. So this is running an STM chip that I know of. I wasn't sure it was compatible with that. However, someone was able to do it. They were able to flash Clipper onto it. And then after that, all we have to figure out, once we can get Clipper onto the mainboard, we just have to figure out the pinout. So for instance, you know, the fan is plugged into a certain port. What is the pinout of that? So Clipper needs to be able to talk to the board after that. It's saying, oh, hey, turn on pin PA4, for instance. Someone's done all that legwork. They were able to flash Clipper onto it. It's an STM chip, so they were able to do that. And then they were able to get the full pinout for this board, so they were able to run it. After that, we can do whatever we want. We can start customizing this. We can make sure it's running up to speed, up to snuff, as I like to say. So we can do anything. As long as we can flash it and we know a pinout, the world is our oyster, as they say. If you're allergic to seafood, the world is our, I don't know what, waterfall. All right. These 2 screws that are holding on this unsupported side. So this is a dual Z setup, but it's a timing belt version. I don't have anything against that, which means that this rod is only being moved or used through the use of a timing belt. It's getting timed off of the Z rod that is on the left side, which is being controlled by the stepper motor. This is going to stay synchronized with it in time via that upper timing belt. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I have 3 different versions of a dual Z. I like them all. I think they all print very well. So, all right. Our screws are all done for the most part. Now we get to, the filament holder. Right here. It already has 2 screws up here. So you know exactly where you're going to put it. There's no, modification to that. I mean, we could do it if we wanted to, but why would you? Which screws are we using for this? Fix the material rack assembly. M5x8, probably could have guessed. Is this an M5? No, I didn't. All right, where's my, this is the M5. Advanced Creality board. Is that what this is? I don't know what board it is. We didn't open up the bottom. We want to try and print with it first. But as far as I know, I did some research on this. I don't know how I knew that. Probably the website, I guess. I'm almost positive this is an STM chip. STM32 and some, some F103 or whatever it might be. Some addition of that. But I do believe it's a different board. So it's not going to be a 4.2.2 or a 4.2.7. It's a different board, which means the pinout is likely different. So I guess whoever was able to flash Clipper onto this did their homework, did their due diligence, and they were able to get the pinout. It was very nice. Only one spot? Yeah, there's only one spot you can put it. There's already threaded, threaded couplers in there to put it. So, I mean, why would you put it anywhere else, I guess? Again, beginner-friendly printer. They don't want to give you a lot of options, which is fine. I mean, we know what we're doing. We could, I mean, put this somewhere else if we really wanted to. Up here with his 3 screws where the top Z is holding. We could do it, but beginner-friendly printer, they don't want to give you a lot of options, but we do have the capability to create this option. So it kind of hits both ends of the spectrum, which I really like. And for the price, I remember when we were buying $100 Creality Ender 3 Pros at Micro Center, and we thought that was like the end-all be-all, right? I got a $100 printer, I slammed Clipper onto it, I put a BMG extruder onto it, and I was good to go. This is all that. This is all that except for Clipper, which we can do, and it's $158. That's like a no-brainer. And it's great for other people. It's great for beginners. You have a grandkid or a friend, brother, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend who's like, oh, maybe I'm into 3D printing this Christmas. Buy it for them. And then when they don't want it, you take it. Anyway, let's continue. Screen. Do we really have to mount the screen? I haven't used the screen in forever. All right, I showed the screen earlier. It's nice. Seems smaller than they used to be, but whatever, it's a screen. Is there a runout sensor? Colin, great question. No, I noticed that too, actually. There is no runout sensor. So, does it mean we can't put one in? Probably we can, I suspect, but we only need a sensor pin, and they usually have an opening. So we could probably put one in. With Clipper, I certainly know we can. With Marlin, the way they're configured nowadays, I don't know for 100% sure, but I would think we could. All right, so the M5, M4x10s are for the display. So let's get this thing on. Yeah, so I was thinking today, I did a review or unboxing, review for the Aquila S2, like 2 years ago now, I think. It was a while ago. And at the time, that was like a bed deal, at least for me, because I thought it was like in line with a lot of other printers. $300, direct drive, auto bed leveling, no. $300 in direct drive. That was a huge deal. Or that was like not a huge deal, but that's where the printers were at the time. Now, for $300, you get dual Z, you get a bed probe, you get a PEI sheet. That PEI sheet was another thing. You get a direct drive. You usually get a runout sensor, and this is going to give you auto Z calibration, and it's less than that. It's less than $200. Insane. So, insane. Let's get this screen on. So can you... Angle's not going to be the best, I apologize. And then one more. Three screws hold on the screen. Nothing crazy, nothing elaborate. It's got a screen is mounted to a mount, obviously, that I'm screwing in. That's something we could 3D print if we really wanted to. Make it look a little cooler. Give us a new cool vibe or something like that. Always possible. All right, I have to assume we're plugging this in next. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, screen's done. Screen is done. What's after that? Wiring. This should be, I would think, fairly simple. Now, I'm taking my time with this, but I probably could have snapped this out in about 15 minutes if I really wanted to. Wiring, I mean, this is it right here. Here's our wire. Coming up from the bottom, it's going to go to the hot end. I see a little spot for it right here. Tells me, get the black positioning label of the flexible flat cable stuck at the line claw. What are they talking about? Well, there's what they call, I guess, a line claw right here. And they want this to get lined up with that. I assume, right? Yeah. Let's do it. is. We've got it lined up. Yeah, John, those runout sensors, they're great. You know, if you have them, they're great. They're great to extinguish old filament. If you have a little bit of old filament on a roll, you can just let it run. It'll let you trigger. It'll trigger runout. You can start a new roll, so you can just, you know, keep using old stuff. But I don't use it all that often. Great to have, but sometimes it's just a little extra. But they're not hard to actually put on. They're usually not. I should have a video with that coming soon, but of course, you know, always a million things. All right, wiring, wiring, wiring. That's it. Okay, so we have two cables here. One's going to go to the stepper motor. And then one's going to go to the back of the extruder here. Should snap right in. And this does look like a Sprite. It looks a little different. I happen to see it out of the shroud. We'll take the shroud off in a second. It looks similar but different. So I'm sure they maybe made slight upgrades or modification. And then I saw there's a little mount to hold this in. Yeah, I mean, Colin, they can be useful. It really depends. My biggest use for them is quite literally when I have just a little bit of filament left, I will, you know, start a longer print. And every time it triggers, I'll add a new roll that's very low, and I'll just finish it all, you know, off on one print. So it'll be some weird multicolor amalgamation, but it does let me use all those old rolls. That's what runout is usually good for me. And then sometimes you're just running into a larger print. You have 3/4 of a roll left, and you're not sure what you're going to do. It's great to have that sort of backup. All right, so now they have this little clip right here that's going to clip on and secure this in place. Secure the cable in place. Obviously, you don't want to be too strong with this or too forceful. It's really just meant to make this cable not move, not swing around while we're printing. Now, we mentioned earlier, no eccentric nuts that I could see for the Z. For the wheels on the Z-axis. This hot end does have one, and we're gonna have to adjust it. You can see I got my thumb just a little bit of play. So we'll go down there and we'll adjust that. I kind of wish it didn't have one at all, but what are you gonna do? Just because for newer printers, they don't know about this. They always come in and ask, which is nothing wrong with that. I just wish, you know, Creality was able to fix this issue before it got out of hand, or before it became an issue. Well, that's bad. This is an eccentric nut. You can never over tighten it. All we're doing is going around an eccentric pattern, like an oblong circle. Brings the wheel closer or further from the rail. Closer is tightening, further is loosening, until we get it nice and stiff. You can tell now I can't move it. Yeah, cable mount looks nice. Everything looks nice. Even the hot end cover looks nice. Let's take it off, and we're done, by the way. This is it. It's over. It's unboxed. It's together. We talked the whole time, but like the printer is ready. It was like that simple. We just gotta switch it on and do our thing. So let's take a look at the hot end quick, then we'll turn it on, then we'll do a print, then we'll get the heck out of here. How many screws are in this thing? 3 screws holding this hot end in. You know, a lot of the new hot ends that come as a print head on like Core XYs, they don't have screws anymore to take them off, which is nice. You just slide it on and slide it off. The Bamboo Lab series is all magnets, which is great. So the screws are not the worst because I have a lot of room to work. But on like my King Room KLP1, which we looked at last week, there's 4 screws to get that hot. It's a pain in the butt getting that hot end off. I don't like it at all. I wish they did away with that. So we have, what is this? A 40. This is a 4010 fan, if you can see it. Printed fan shroud, which I actually like. Not the best print. Hopefully it wasn't from one of these prints. Looks like it's in PETG probably. It's got that shiny texture. So printed fan shroud, pretty cool. And then let's take a look at this. Looks like a Sprite, a little different. Small stepper motor like the Sprite. Same sort of extruder as the Sprite. There's a different mounting bracket though. It doesn't have the Sprite's outer metal body that carries it around. Weird looking mounting bracket for the CR Touch here. So it's quite literally a metal bracket right here. This is a CR Touch. Breakout board in the back. Huge heatsink. Yikes. You can see this. This is a huge heatsink. Bigger than normal, I think. Gigantic heat block. Really chunky heat block. Let's see if we can get down a little closer. Really chunky heat block, very big. So that should melt filament very well. Heat sink up here, gigantic. Small cooling fan. Heat sink, it's just fine. Those tend to work. I like my Sprite extruder a lot. It's on my Aquila. It's got a high volumetric flow rate. Some are higher than others. John knows exactly what I'm talking about. His flow rate somewhere around 55 cubic millimeters per second. But they are good. And this looks, yeah, this looks similar. It looks a little different. Obviously, it looks the mounting scheme's a little different. There's an, okay, so the end stop switch is actually, let me put this back on. The end stop switch is on the print head, where it used to be on the side of the machine. So this isn't too bad getting this hot end cover on and off. We have so much room to work, you know, because it's not an enclosed Core XY. Kind of, I was complaining about the King Rune. It's enclosed, it's hard to get to, and it's 4 screws. This is out in the open, it's easy to get to, and there's only 3 screws. And I mean, really we just want this not to be vibrating. As long as the fan's in place, cooling our parts properly, and it's not vibrating, that's all we can ask for. So 3 screws, more than enough. Okay. Now you'll see right here is an end stop. So they moved the end stop to the hot end instead of on the rail where it used to be, which makes sense. There's a breakout board here. You know, the breakout board's back here. So everything's now connected, you know, to the ribbon cable. So one less connection coming this way because there's an end stop that used to have to be connected here. I mean, they could have wrapped it around. It would have looked fine, but one less connection is one less connection. If it looks a little cleaner, that's great. I like the innovation that they're doing. Lastly, we have to plug in the stepper for the Z. All right. Z stepper's plugged in. Our hot end is plugged in. The X stepper is plugged in. What's moving the Y? I guess it's already plugged in underneath because the stepper is underneath and buried in here. I think it's time to power this this bad boy on. See what's in the USB stick. We might have to slice something of our own. We put this extra nozzle. We talked about this earlier, but this nozzle is larger, I think, than normal by a few millimeters, maybe 5. So this might have, you know, it's one of those annoying proprietary, larger than average nozzles. We don't like that, but it is what it is. Okie doke. So far, printer looks good. It feels good. I mean, it's an Ender 3, but it doesn't necessarily look like an Ender 3. It has what looks like a really nice Sprite style hot end, which is what we want. Linear rods on bed. Yeah, well, I don't know if they're linear rods. They're just steel rods with bearings underneath that are attached to the bed, and those are running on the rod. Oh, they're not even on the bed. Why the hell is it causing so much movement? So it's just steel rods that are running on bearings that are attached to that bottom of that bed. Pretty cool. It feels like we're dragging, but the motion ultimately or overall doesn't feel all that bad. Where is our power supply? Okay. Hope my basement doesn't turn off. So we changed the voltage. Are we still live? Oh, we were powered on apparently. Let's turn it off. I want it to be Yeah, the first turn on, we probably just bricked it. All right. The first power on of the printer. Everyone sit back and enjoy. Works. All right. We have a screen. Trying to get a spot for y'all. All right. Language selection. Let's go with English. I like that they did that, and then we're ready to go. Old school icons, nothing new, nothing bad. We have a prepare, a print. We have no SD card in, but now we can see the bottom icons. They all look normal. Our hot end temperature, our bed temperature, our speed, and our flow percentages. Z offset, nothing's there. Fans are off, telling us the normal information that we would see if we that we would expect to see. The prepare menu is usually how we adjust different axes, move them around, do stuff like that. Yeah, the screen does look smaller, John. It's definitely smaller. I want to say it looks nicer. I kind of like that it's smaller. It, used to be like a 5.8 screen or a 6 point something. It's definitely smaller. But I don't think there's any. Go ahead and see if I can find out what our current values are for like our stepper motors. Cool down, extrude, retract, Z offset, auto home, disable steppers move. No, it's going to be in what? Control. So our motion system. Our max speed, oh, what is our max speed? 500. So this is saying 500 millimeters per squared max speed, which is fine, it's normal. Obviously, we're going to be throttled by other conditions than our max speed. Max acceleration, set to 4 grand on everything. 4,000 acceleration, X, Y, Z, and E, which is good to know because we're going to probably set up a slicer profile for this, and we need to know that. Steps per millimeter, 80, 80, 400, and 429.9. That's exactly what the Sprite extruder is supposed to be set at, 429.9. So that all checks out. Now, usually I like to do my own Z offset. Colin! Print and take. Thank you so much. Hold on. I'm supposed to have a overlay that pops up when someone does it. Colin, thank you so much. Heart goes out. Awesome. First super chat. I gotta heart it. Okay, never mind. Google doesn't want me to. Thought he just closed the stream. Colin, thank you so much. That's really amazing. Really amazing. Look at this chat back here. Awesome stuff. Okay. Don't want to do that. Colin just ruined the stream. Everyone, I'm joking. I'm trying to like thank it and put a heart next to it, and you just don't want me to do it. So, Colin, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Awesome, awesome. Makes my day. Gonna buy me more tea. Gonna help my throat. So hopefully our Friday stream. Cheers, brother. Our Friday stream, I sound a little bit better, which is only 2 days from now. Okay. So we see all our steps per millimeter. We see all what we're set to. Let's go back. Max acceleration. We did all that. All right. So let's see what all this this bed meshing, bed leveling, and Z offset's about. So here we go. Here's our menu for leveling. And is it going to... Oh, it's doing something. Oh, it just does it. Auto Z offset and process. Okay, so nozzle heating, nozzle cleaning, nozzle auto Z offset. So I guess it's going to do all that. Let's bring you guys back a little bit. I should say you folks back, because there might be a plethora of people out here. All right. So it's doing its thing. Oh, I get to sit down for a second. So this, I hit leveling and it's just started. So I don't know if it's going to give us a mesh, a bed mesh. Obviously our CR Touch has been extended right here. It's coming down here to, no knobs on bed. John, no, there's no knobs at all. You missed it when we took the bed out and we took it off. The bed was basically coming off the rails, quite literally. I had to put 2 screws back in here. We could, though, make our own bed screws and adjustment if we really wanted to. But no, it is quote-unquote a fixed bed. Okay, so we probed the bed. Now coming to the front corner. And it said nozzle cleaning. So, all right, nozzle heating is flashing. So I guess it's heating up the nozzle. Then nozzle cleaning. That worries me because if I'm assuming nozzle cleaning means it's going to clean whatever bit of filaments on the bottom of the nozzle off, which makes sense. It needs to clean the nozzle. There's a little blob of filament on that nozzle. It's going to get an erroneous Z offset. It's going to have where the blob is. So we need to clean the nozzle. I'm assuming it's just going to rub it on the bed, which I see. So on the bed has a nozzle, and it looks like a clean section. So I guess it's going to rub it on the bed to clean it off. Kind of worries me because if the Z offset is off right now, it's going to just scrape our bed entirely. So I guess it has an assumed Z offset. It'll clean and then it'll do it again. Or I don't know how that works, but let's keep watching. Yeah, it's a big shroud. It's almost like the alien head or something like that. It's just gigantic dome. All right, so where are we at? Nozzle heating still. So I guess it doesn't tell me a temperature. It just tells me that the nozzle's heating. Assuming we're getting up to like 200 or something like that for a normal PLA. I have the wiring hooked up. Everything looks nice. The belts look nice. There is injection molded plastic on the top and on the back. These are all injection molded plastic. Ed was asking about that earlier. It seems fine. It seems perfectly worthwhile. But the cool thing about it is the fact that it is plastic means we could print those ourselves, and we can make this, you know, look a little cooler for us. We could put colors on here. This can be a different color. This can be a different color. Of course, someone would have to create these files for us. They're not available. But, you know, it's something we could do. What is it doing now? Apparently, it's still heating. Everything was connected, so I should have no problem there. I smell it heating up. It's just heating up kind of slow, I guess. It's not telling me what temperature it's at either. But I can definitely smell it heating up. All right. It sounds like it stopped. So I'm assuming the cleaning will begin. Nope, never mind. Turn back on. Still heating up. It's taking a really long time to heat. Maybe I'm just used to like the CHC nozzles that kind of heat up instantaneously. What it feels like. Yeah, it is kind of taking a while. I know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm used to those CHC nozzles that just heat up like so quick. The ceramic ones. But it's not really giving me much more information besides nozzle heating is blinking. So. Oh, the bed is heating now. Oh, the bed's heating. Oh, that makes sense. It wants us to have a heated bed. All right, so the bed taking a while to heat up makes sense. Because it's, you know, it's a bed. Obviously, it was at, what, 24C, and now it's probably going to 60C would be my guess. It's going to take a little longer. But, yeah, the bed is heating up as well. They want us to have a warm bed. Bone of contention for a lot of people. I do it at room temp. All right, here we go. It tapped once, it tapped twice, tapped again. Now it moved forward, and now it's cleaning the nozzle. So it did give us 4 preempted taps, which I assume it means it's getting an idea of where our Z offset is. So even if there's a blob of filament, it's not going to rip your bed apart. It's going to have an idea where it is. Then it dragged the nozzle along the bed, which would clean it off of any filament that was globbed there. We're going to home and center again. And now I assume this is when we take our actual Z offset. So now it's going back down. Front right corner. And now we're going to probe again in the front right corner. Seems unnecessary, but whatever. No, it needs to find the bed there in relation. That makes sense. It moves the nozzle there. Touch. 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 3 touches. And that's it. We have a calibrated live Z offset. Oh, I have an alarm going off. Let's see what it's telling us. Nozzle auto Z offset. So it's still blinking. I guess it's going to do it again. I mean, the more the merrier, I suppose. No real time. No, not on this screen, Colin. This is all we see. It's just, I don't know if you can see that there. It says heating, cleaning, and then nozzle Z, auto Z offset, which I'm sure I'm ruining right now by doing that. So no real-time stats on that screen, though. So there we go. We get 2 touches and a 3rd touch. So there you go. So it did it twice so far, which is good. You want it to be accurate. And now it's looked like it's doing a complete home. Oh no, this is what I did last time? Homing again. Are we doing it for a third time? Yeah, okay. Looks like we're doing it 3 times. I mean, the more the merrier. If this is going to help somebody, if you're not going to have to do anything at all, let it Z offset as many times as you want. Well, not as many, but 3 times is perfectly fine. So again, it's going to touch the bed once, twice, and a third time. And I'm telling you, when it detects that bed, it immediately jumps up. So the load sensor is being applied properly. It's definitely testing it. All right. The bottom option, nozzle auto Z offset, is still blinking. I think we're done. I'm assuming it's going to wait for a cool down period. The fans are turning on. So speaking of fans, right now, before the hot end fan turned on, seemed fine. The hot end fan's a little loud, but nothing crazy. You might be hearing stuff now. But ultimately, this really wasn't that loud. So not bad. So that should be saving, hopefully, our Z offset. And then when we first go to print, it should apply that. Now, we looked in the menus earlier, and the Z offset was set to 0. So after this, we'll go back, we'll check it again, we'll see if it actually has a Z offset. Really good. We can, I don't know. So we'll do a print with this, and I think we'll call it. That's really what we want to do. We wanted to unbox it, we wanted to set it up, we wanted to get a print going. So while this does its thing, it saves its Z offset. Let's take a look at the slicer. I don't have a slicer for this at all. I'm going to assume a slicer setting. So let's see. I'm going to open and create an Orca slicer profile. I have to imagine that on this USB, oh, it's doing something. All right, we're homing again. On this USB, there's probably a slicer profile for Creality Slicer or something like that. I don't have any more USB parts, though, on my laptop, so I can't even plug it in. I guess I have to take some. All right, now it's homing on the other side. Is it going to do a load? No. Oh, now we're going to an auto bed mesh. Oh, okay. So it adjusted our Z offset, and now it's probing for our bed mesh, and it's doing it relatively quickly. Oh, was that 5 on the front? It's doing it relatively quickly. That's about 1, 2, 3, probably 4, maybe a 20 spotter. That's 2, 3. Oh, so it's 4, 4x4, 16. All right, so it's a 4x4 bed mesh, which I like it to be odd numbers because then you definitely hit the middle of your bed, quite literally. But it's a nice quick bed mesh. It's doing what Marlon calls the high-speed probing. The probe's not retracting with every probe point. It's just moving up, engaging the optical sensor that's in our CR Touch. CR Touch has a optical sensor, not a Hall effect sensor, like a BL Touch. And then once that engages, it detects it, and it lets it do again. So it's quite literally high-speed probing, but should be high accuracy as well. Wireless? I don't think so, John. Frank was asking about that earlier. I don't believe so. We're going to look into it, but very doubtful. I was talking about it earlier. We can slam Clipper on this, though, and it'll be wireless in no time if we really wanted to. All right, so we did our Z offset. We did our bed mesh. It's going to home, I suspect, again, and then I guess that's that for the homing process. All right, new projects. Okay, so we're homed. I'm assuming it's going to turn off now. Let me show you all what I'm doing. Okay. So I opened up Orca Slicer. I believe you can see this, right? Yeah. So I opened up Orca Slicer. I didn't have time to create a new printer here. So I'm going to import an Ender 3 S1 if they have it. Any Ender 3 is going to do fine for us. Creality, Ender 3 S1 Pro. That's perfectly fine. So we'll import that. We saw some of the maximum values that this machine had. What's the machine G code? All right, so we want it to, do we want it to probe the bed? No, we'll have it call the previous, we just created a mesh. So we're gonna have it call a previous mesh, which is M420S1, call a mesh. There's no other G28s here, right? No, G28, this is G code, G28 homes all the axes. If we were to do that, it erases all our bed leveling. Allow partial nozzle warm up. Okay, this should all be fine. They're Ender 3s, they're all the same. Now we'll look at the extruder. Nozzle diameter 0.4, 0.8, 0.36 is fine. Retraction length, I want to go lower. I want to go 0.5. It's a direct extruder. I think we can go 0.5. That's my starting off point. We're going to do some nozzle Z-hopping. That's fine. Where's our speed? All right, so this had our maximum acceleration for a normal Ender 3 is 500. This was set to 4,000. So let's do that. The Z shouldn't be 4,000 though. Z should be 500. Maximum acceleration for extruding. I'm probably wrong about that, but whatever. Okay, that should be all the information we need. Marlin Legacy, printable height 250, I believe. 220, 220. Okay, we'll save this as the stream one. Actually, what is this called? Ender 3 V3. Ender 3 V3 SE. Okay, so we've saved our printer parameters. That's probably all we need to really do. We're going to use whatever the generic Creality PLA settings are. Let's take a look. 0.98, 98% flow ratio is fine. Printing this at 220 is perfect, actually. Volumetric speed, we'll keep it at 12. I think that's fine. And then the speeds. So it had our maximum. We should be able to increase these. So I don't know. So it had maximums at 500, but that's certainly not the case. Let's set our accelerations, normal printing to 4,000. Why isn't this letting me do it? Okay, here we go. Outer wall, we'll keep it to 2,000. I don't know if it can handle this, I'm guessing. I would do different numbers for a clipper printer. I'd do them a little higher probably. Inner wall, we'll keep it to 4,000. First layer, 2,000. Top surface, 2,000. We want it to go a little, accelerate a little slower. Travel, we can max it out. Okay, so, and for our speeds, I think 120. Let's just keep everything at 120. Outer wall, we'll make it 100. And everything else 120. Top surface 100. So this should be relatively fast. Our first layer, that's kind of low. 40. First layer infill, 65. Slow, but not too slow. We're guessing on this. You know, we're guessing with decent knowledge. 0.2 layer height, ins and outs of a default line width of 0.4, a little higher, which is perfectly fine. Okay, let's get a model in here. And let's do a Voron cube. How does that sound? And let's slice her up. 59 minutes. Let's not get a Voron cube. Let's get a smaller cube. I want a 20-minute print. Regular cube. 20-minute print. Could we ask for anything better? We asked right for the nose. Okay, 20-minute print. All right, what do we got? I'm sorry. We got to test volumetric speed. Yeah, I want to do all that. I don't know what this can do. I haven't used a Marlin printer in so long. Can it handle a 4,000? I don't know. It's 32-bit board, I have to imagine, so it should be able to. But I'm going to assume the volumetric flow rate is probably super high because it's a sprite. Wow, this bed didn't turn off. This is still hot. Oh, it told me I have to hit something. So it told me, it's telling me my mesh values. So our lowest mesh value is negative 0.2. And our highest mesh value is 0.49. So that's a variance of about 6.06 millimeter variance. That's good, not great. We can edit the mesh if we wanted to. We can adjust different points. I'm not going to get into that now. We'll confirm it. And then hopefully now it's going to lower our temperatures. So we're just stuck at, oh, I don't like that. So right now we're just stuck at 140, 65. Our bed's at 65 and our nozzle's at 140, which is, I guess, what it did during the testing. And it just didn't go down. After it does the Z offset and bed adjustment leveling, it should lower these values. A beginner printer is not going to know that this is staying on, and they're going to just have power going to their machine, have heat going to their machine. That's definitely something they need to do. If this was Clipper, I hate to keep doing that, but if this was Clipper, it's a simple line of G code, you know? M104S0, M109S0, was that nozzle? M106S0, that's it at the end of that code, and it turns it off. How we do it in Marlin, I'm sure it's a little more finagled, but it should be done. Okay. Yes, 0.4 nozzle. Probably more standard sprite speed. That's what I'm going with. We're going with the Iron Mass, John O'Connor, you know, million millimeters, cubic millimeters volumetric flow rate. No, we're going to go with 12. That's perfectly fine. Screenshot. Where'd we go? Here we are. Okay, so this cube, 20 minutes, exactly what we want. We're doing grid two walls, 15% infill. Let's see what the volumetric flow rate is at. So we're touching 9. We're never touching 9. We're basically at 2. I kind of want to increase this. So our flow rate is higher, obviously, on the second layer, and then the outer walls. So it's going to be our... We're being throttled right now, no doubt, by our minimum printing time. So let's adjust that. Cooling. Min printing time is 8 seconds, meaning it's going to make sure every layer is at least 8 seconds. So that's going to slow us down. Let's make it 4 seconds. You're going to see how much the flow is going to increase. So we went from 2 to 3 to about 6.66. The devil's number, that's kind of frightening. But it's higher, which is good, and we're probably a little quicker maybe. Now we're at 16. We've saved ourselves 4 minutes. Let's see how this bad... Oh, I don't even know how to print. I don't even know how to print. I guess I have to move it to an SD card, huh? All right. Oh my god, I just lost my mouse now, of course. Okay. SD card. The big SD, USB. How do I do this? Oh, so it's just this entire thing? Where is the USB? All right, so it's got a USB-C connection too. That's pretty cool. All right, so I put this in here. This gigantic ST goes into the USB stick, and this entire Millennium Falcon gets plugged in. Use reality. I got none, John. I'm sorry. We have a lot of King Rune. We have a lot of 3D Max, which we might use, and I'm getting more Ace Additive. Actually, a really good filament, Ace Additive. They sent it to me for a few days, like a month ago. It was like flash filament. It actually turned out kind of nice. I got a little higher volumetric flow rate from it. It printed nice. It was spun nicely. They're giving me more for my next video. I think the T500 is going to be printing with that, and let's see if we can get some higher flows with that. So, okay, USB is plugged in. Let's try and get this file over to it. Actually, I'm going to keep you on me. I don't know what. I want you guys to be privy to what kind of files we got on here. They might spoil some upcoming cool stream stuff. Export G-code to this D drive. The current the stick only had a single print file on it. That's it. It doesn't even have slicer settings or downloading a slicer. It has 1-cat.gcode. Okay. Sure. We all know what that is too. It's the cat like this. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Unmount. Okay. Go ABS? Yeah, okay. Probably should. I don't want to die of VOCs just on this first video or second video, and it's not enclosed. We're going to go PLA. We're going to break this guy in nice. So, gigantic SD card. Going in. Cool thing about the gigantic SD cards, make sure they're unlocked. This thing is still on. That is really frustrating. Is that in? It didn't feel in. There's probably a "that's what she said" joke in there somewhere, but we're not going to go low. All right, print. Okay. Maybe, is the SD card locked? I think it's in. Nothing's in it. I remember having this problem before with one of my enders where you'd have to, like, give it a second. Trying this again. Clicking. Gotta be kidding me here. Nothing. I mean, it's very well it could be me. It was me. Shocker. Yeah, Colin, I'm basically using Orca now. Well, I'm still not getting anything. I'm primarily using Orca. I moved over when I got my Bamboo printers. I was using Bamboo Labs, and I liked it a lot. And Cure was kind of slowing down for me. And I saw Orca and how it allowed a lot of other slicers. Here we go. I had to unlock it. And I basically use Orca now. I really love it. Calibrations, super snappy interfaces. I like how they compartmentalize different aspects of the 3D printer. They can send pressure advance and stuff right through our filament. It's really good. Yeah, the accidental lock thing. So I primarily use that. Video on Orca Slicer coming very soon. I like to have a lot of knowledge on these things before I do a video. I don't want to fool anybody. I think I have enough knowledge on Orca now. Probably just do a little more research, but I like it a lot. All the built-in, just really good. So let's go ahead and start a print as I start some tea. Cube. So what's it asking? All right, so just giving us estimated time. Everything's zeroed out. Calibration's off. I can go to confirm or cancel. I can turn calibration on, meaning I suppose it'll do another Z offset and bed mesh. We don't want to do that. You see right here now we have a Z offset, negative 2.2, whereas earlier it was 0, so that did take. You can also see our temperatures are still live, which I don't like. Confirm. All right, printing time. All that stuff's not getting passed. I assume it's probably because of how I set it up in the slicer. Maybe I have to pass it in different ways. But whatever, we'll get better at that. You know, I just want to see if this prints and how it prints. So let me adjust the screen for you guys. Sorry I have to do this while it's live so I can actually see. All right, the movement's super silent. So I can hear the fan in the hot end. It's not super loud. I mean, I'll get close to it. But the movement's actually super quiet. Like my Aquila, I barely even hear that thing move. And this is the same exact idea. Super quiet movement. Okay, let me make some more tea here. Yeah, it's a full SD card, no micro. Isn't that weird? Oh, but there's also an adapter or a USB-C outlet. So I guess, you know, if you want to connect things like your interface or your computer, maybe there's a way to, you know, directly send prints from your computer there using that USB-C. I guess that's an option. But yeah, no micro SD slot, just the large one. And they don't even give you an SD that has an adapter, a large SD for a micro SD. So if all your stuff is on micro SD, you're going to have to get it on your computer somehow and then do it. Where are we at? What's this thing doing? It's sitting. I'm assuming it's just getting the temperature. Yep, it's at 217. The bed's now reaching 60. And then it's slowly getting up. So normally what I want to do is, on a 3D printer when I get it like this, I would calibrate my E-steps. For a direct drive, it's not that easy. I'd probably have to take the nozzle off and actually calibrate my E-steps. Because Marlin won't allow us to extrude while it's cold, you have to send a G-code file through to the printer to allow us to cold extrude. This is coming at 424.9 for an E-step. It's probably very accurate, but I like being accurate. I like knowing that I did it. For instance, my Aquila has the Sprite on. I think I'm at around 420. So a difference of, 9 millimeters per second, which can make a difference. We're up in printing. Anyone want to tell me? Everyone just sat there and had a good time with it. So it's not printing. And why do you think it's not printing? This is like the third time I've started the prints on a video or something like that with zero filament installed. All right, let's get some filament in this. Hey, it looks good though, right? Dry run. All right, let's find some filament. What do you all want? King Rune, 3D Max, other knockoff stuff. I think we're going 3D Max. All right, let's see how the cancel option works. Yeah, there's no filament run out. That's right. Had there been, this sort of thing would never happen. All right. Let's stop it. Raises up, does its thing. Very nice. Okay, it probably has an auto load feature. I never use it. Nice little pull tab back here. It's going to get it caught by the gear so I don't touch it anymore. Going to get our nozzle hot, even though it's probably pretty hot. It's at 200 and decreasing. So where do I do that? Control? Temperature. Nozzle temperature. We'll make it, I haven't used a rotary knob like this in like forever. We'll make it 220, which is right where our print's going to be at. I could do it now. All I'm doing is hand forcing it. So it's at 180 and it's going to be increasing. So all I'm doing is going to hand force this through. That's how I usually always refill my filament. Let's get this over here so you can kind of see it extrude. Taking pressure off the extruder gear and just pushing this through. Oop. The steppers didn't engage. They disabled, so I was pushing the Z-axis down. Not cool. Party foul. All right, so I'm pushing filament out. I can see that they have tested this nozzle because there is another color coming out. Some sort of translucent-y color. This is brown that we're using. You know what? I'm using a lot of force. Let's go ahead and move the extruder forward. We're going to extrude 20 millimeters. All right, very slow extrusion, which is good. I was afraid it would go too fast. It's going to push out our new filament, which is brown. There's a lot of this other stuff in there. Actually, wait a second. That might have been my filament the whole time. Nah, it looks like a slight translucent color. Okay. We're engaged. We have filament. Let's go ahead and start printing again. Now, it does look like we have features on our menu. We can still tune printing speed, nozzle temp, and Z offset if we wanted to. So we could live Z offset adjust this if we wanted to. We do have the option, which is good to know. Because again, that kind of goes to what I was saying about this printer being for beginners and for people who are familiar with 3D printers. This will do all the stuff for you, right? It did an auto Z offset adjust. It made its own bed mesh. But we also have the capabilities of doing that ourselves and adjusting that ourselves and just making it all work. So we can use the knowledge we have as 3D printers. Wait for oozing. Oh, it's oozing. Oh, it's oozing. Yeah. Ed, I blame the ABS discussion for me forgetting to do any of it. That's the second time I've done that. When I was doing my review a while ago for the longer LK4 Pro, which is a good printer once you put clipper on it, I did a whole test print and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't printing. And that had a filament. No, it didn't have. I put a filament runout sensor afterwards, and I'm like, what an idiot! What a complete moron! Halfway through, no filament. Okay, we're heating back up. Set to 220. We're at 217, so it's getting there, and then we're going to start again. It started really quickly. I don't know if you saw that last time. It just did its thing and it started and it went. So we're going to do a little purge line here. That's what we have our... Actually, no, I didn't add my G-code in. It's their G-code. Usually there's a purge line right here. I think I saw it. And then it should start doing our cube. 20 minutes. Make it so. Voice is killing me. All right, we're at 2 hours of our stream, so this is going to be it. We're going to wrap it up with our cube. Some final thoughts, some Bob Ross final thoughts as this is printing. It's kind of cool that I can... Well, we'll see if I can talk right here while it's printing. Kind of give you an idea as to what the volume's like. My last stream, my audio wasn't, well, my audio was low, but there was a lot of background noise. That was the printer. That KLP1 is loud. The fan is always on. This, it's not bad at all. It's pretty quiet. All right, we have our purge line. It is working. Looks, let's see our Z offset. It looks high, but good. Like, for me, it's high. I like a little more smush. Everyone knows I like that elephant's foot. It's going fast. What did we do the first layer at? 100 millimeters per second? 80 or 60 or something? It actually looks pretty nice. I'm going to try and get you all into view. It's going to be a little shaky. I apologize, but I'll do my best. I would normally try a pause script and let it just pause and let you see the first layer. I don't know what this is going to do, though. If it's going to move it or it's just going to pause right over the model and you're not going to be able to see it. But, you know, it's moving pretty quick. It's not the slowest person on the block. Ain't the fastest, but whatever. $16-minute cube. 1 hour assembly. No, this was, I mean, I was talking and I was taking my time. I could have assembled this in about 7 minutes probably. 3 screws under here, 3 screws under here, 2 screws in the back, mount the screen with 3 screws, mount this with 2 screws, that's it. That was it. That was insane, right? Insane. I mean, the KLP1 similar, you just take it out of the box, but absolutely insane. One thing I did not like at all was the bed was so rickety. If you didn't see it, watch the VOD, is that what we call it? I was going to say VOD. Go back and watch it. I'm not sure I like the extrusion, but we'll. The 2 screws over here holding the bed down were not even screwed in. This thing was just like, I could hear it coming out of the box. That I don't like. That's not good. This, I think, is great for a beginner. This is a great beginner printer. If you have a friend, a loved one, someone who's like, oh, you know, I'm thinking about getting into 3D printing. Holidays are coming up. Maybe I want to buy. This is it. $158 out the door plus tax, and you have a printer that just does everything. You know, we'll create a slicer profile. You can give it to them, and they can figure it out. So having the bed stuff like that was annoying because a new person might not know. They, you know, oh, maybe it's supposed to shake. They don't know. They really don't, and it's not their fault. So I don't like that. Quality control needs to go up. What else didn't we like? We had to set the power supply to the correct voltage, probably in the manual though. I didn't like how the bed was on after the leveling process. Small nitpick, but I didn't like it. I thought there was something else. But that being said, it's printing a cube right now. I put it together. I did nothing. Besides fixing the bed, I did nothing. I didn't level it. I didn't adjust for Z offset. I just hit print, and it's printing a really nice cube right now. The extrusion looks a little, I don't know, not ideal, but, you know, first print ever. The settings could be off. There's no pressure advance. I can see there's like a little bit of rounding of the corners. So, I mean, ultimately what I would do probably, if I had this printer, I'd put clipper on it. I don't need an auto Z offset for me. So now the other end of the spectrum, right? Great for beginners. Great for hobbyists who want another quick printer. For $158, we can get this printer. It has a direct drive extruder. It has a CR Touch. It has a bed probe. It needs a new bed, but whatever. It has dual Z. It has rails. It has, what else we got? Small stepper. I mean, it's got everything you kind of want. Maybe you want some better cooling or something. We put clipper onto this, and it's a powerhouse. It's probably 8,000 acceleration. Let's call it 7,000 acceleration. Probably hitting speeds of around 200, 160 for like the slow outer walls, 200 for the inner walls. We'll put a webcam on this. You'll get Wi-Fi connectivity, and then you probably can mod this to your heart's content if you wanted to. I want to say it looks a little smaller than my Ender 3 for some reason. Just the way it's sitting, because I guess, so with the Ender 3, the x-axis sat right in the middle. This sits further back, so it's giving you more front to back. So the footprint of the y-axis is more contained than that of the original Ender 3, where the axis, the y was sticking out a little further. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Anthony, did I mess around with the CR10 SE yet? No, didn't even know it existed, to be honest with you. But our friend Feder from 3D Print SOS has a stream going right now as we speak, and he's unboxing it or he's looking at it. So I would say stick around here. We're going to finish up real soon. Then head over there or catch his VOD. But he really knows what he's doing. He's an awesome guy, and he's looking at that right now. So I haven't seen that myself. This was sent to me by geekbuying.com. So that's where you would be buying. If you were going to use my affiliate link and get that really low price, that's where you were doing it. So I want to thank geekbuying.com for giving me this in exchange for a video review, which is going to come out shortly. I like this printer. I like the idea of this printer, and I think I like it already. But, you know, we're going to nitpick it. We're going to go through. We're going to find out what's what. You think this can handle 10,000? I think you're out of your mind. But you never know. Yeah, so that's the other thing. So you know what we do to these printers, right? We're going to take, this shroud is only holding the 4010 fan. Was it a 4010 or a 4020? The 4010 fan. You can modify this fan shroud. We can make a cool looking fan shroud. I could probably take this fan shroud off completely and make a small mount just for the fan to hold it on. Because I do agree, It's a little, to me, it looks like the dome of the alien head, like Aliens, like the original Alien, I guess. It's like that black shiny dome, kind of what it reminds me of. Not really super pleasing, but I guess it's sleek. You might want to call it that. Do I think it can do 7K XL? Absolutely. On Clipper, I don't think it would even have a problem. And so I'm sitting right next to it. My microphone's right here on my lapel. Can you hear it? It's pretty quiet. I mean, I can hear it moving. I can hear the fans on, but it's really not that bad at all. You know, I like it. Dual Z, probe, auto Z offset. There's not a lot to not like, quite honestly. No runout sensor. But I was saying it earlier. So we have to probably thank Bambu Labs for all of this because, I don't know, middle of last year, a $300 printer got you a direct drive, a dual Z, a PEI sheet, and a bed probe. That's about it. And that's not bad for $300. And you might pay a little more than that. Now, $300 got me a KLP1, a little higher, I guess. Enclosed Core XY, Clipper equipped with a Clipper screen, ready to go. Now that's all because Bambu Labs is forcing these things down. Now this Ender 3 V3 SE is less than $200. And you're getting a bed probe. You're getting a direct drive hot end, which is really nice. The Sprite goes for like, what, $80 alone? And you're getting the Sprite or Sprite adjacent, I think. I think it's a little different. Right here, you're getting, what else? Dual Z. Flexible bed. We said the bed probe. Auto Z offset. Decent screen. I mean, you're getting a printer that prints for $158. You can't ask for more than that, quite honestly. Yeah, so I didn't know the CR10 SE is Creality OS or Clipper as the these companies that are using Clipper and then constraining Clipper is outrageous. It annoys me. You know, Kevin O'Connor, the developer of Clipper, is literally the forefront of how companies are keeping up with Bambu Labs. They're all putting Clipper in their machines because they need to keep up with those high speeds, and they all want to just constrain it. I mean, Clipper is quite literally meant to give you access of your printer, to have your printer think in a different way. It's not thinking in terms of printing. It's thinking in terms of basic movements. I can go from here to here, how? Oh, and I'm also going to extrude from here to here, how? It's very simple when you understand the concept of Clipper, and that's the whole intention. When they guard it or gate it behind their own weird OS systems, it's so upsetting, very upsetting. Yeah, I mean, I guess Creality and Voxelab, they're known for their really loud fans. This one doesn't seem too bad. But, you know, we can always do things. We can always change the fans a little bit. There's usually some stuff we can do. And if you're like me, unfortunately, you have so many printers that you don't know which fan is which when they're printing. So behind the camera, you guys can't see it, but I'm going to put a post out on Instagram or the Discord tomorrow of this gigantic Comgro T500 3D printer. That is coming on Friday. We're going to do a live unboxing of that. That's going to be fun. That is a Clipper printer. That is a 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter by 500 millimeter printer. It's huge. It's the largest printer I have. It's also a bed slinger, so that's weird. And it's also 86 pounds. And that's troubling. But we're going to unbox that. We're going to have some fun with it. Hook it up. See what it's worth. I'm going to have a lot of time on Friday, so we're just going to hang out. It's going to be a very chill stream. Grab yourself a drink. Grab yourself something to eat, some pizza, whatever. We're just going to hang out. It's going to be very fun. Yeah, our cube's coming along. It don't look bad. I haven't printed with Marlin forever, so I don't, you know, I'm not sure what the peccadillos are of Marlin anymore, you know, what I can improve on directly. But this is I just unboxed this and I started printing. I did nothing else. So I have to give this a lot of credit. It's stuck to the bed and it's doing its thing. And again, I'm standing right next to it, and I don't think it's all that loud. So a lot to like, a lot to still look at. You know, we'll see what the longevity as best we can is. I'm going to throw prints at it. I'm going to throw speeds at this thing, and then I'm probably going to put Clipper on it just to see. I don't know what I'm going to do with this ultimately. I might be getting rid of this printer. It might be in a giveaway, an upcoming giveaway at some point. So I want to make sure I can flash back to Creality's Marlin firmware for whoever might get it. So I'm going to likely dabble with Clipper on this because I want to see if this can just push and see exactly what it can do. Because it should be. It's an Ender 3. I mean, I'm pushing 6,000, 5,000 with my Ender 3 Pros from years ago. This can definitely handle it. So we're not going to be able to use the load cell for auto Z offset, but we'll use the probe and we'll get our normal thing done. I hope T500 can handle speed. Yeah, I know. Me too. I don't know. It's dubious at best. It's a bed slinger. You know, the beds are heavy. You're depositing material on the beds. They get heavier, and it's 500 millimeters. It's going to be massive. We'll see. But, you know, the cool things about Clipper, if you don't know about Clipper, it has input shaping, which is a great way to reduce the vibrations that are imparted from our prints while we're moving. Especially a large bed slinger, it's going to impart tons of vibrations to our parts. What input shaper does is we use an accelerometer to measure those vibrations, and then we run it through calculations, input shapers, quite literally. And whichever input shaper is the best at controlling specific frequencies at which our printer is vibrating, that's what we use. And there's different shapers. Different input shapers are better or worse at controlling different resonances. And then what it does, quite literally, is it changes the electrical signals going to your stepper motors while they're working. It's fast. It's amazing how they... I think it was Dmitry Budakov that that implemented that in Clipper, so we thank him so much. Everyone has to thank him because that was an awesome implementation. All right, we're getting to the top layers. Very happy. Full review in a full weeks. Yeah, I mean, Geek Buying, like, they gave me like a 2-week period to do this, which I'm going to do my best, but I don't know. I like to have time with these. I never want to just print it once and be like, oh, here's a great printer, go buy it. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want people spending their money on something, and I didn't do my complete due diligence. So I'm going to be printing with this thing nonstop. After the stream goes off, I'm going to put a large print on this probably. Not overnight because I don't trust it yet, but 3-hour print before I go to bed. And then we'll do some Clipper stuff, and then I'll put a review out. I'll be honest, I think the review on this is going to be very quick. I know what this looks like. I see what it's doing. I don't, you know, I'm going to check to make sure it has thermal runaway protection because, you know, that's always, for some reason, a problem on some of these machines. They just don't implement it. So we'll do stuff like that. We'll make sure everything is kind of where it's supposed to be, but this is going to be a fairly good, decent, quick review, quick turnaround time because it works, right? Tight Gen Engineering? I don't know how to pronounce it. Thank you for popping by. I appreciate it. You're catching the end of the stream, but listen, stepping through the door. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're just finishing up our first print ever with this. We unboxed it. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes of the stream. I talked the whole time. We unboxed it about an hour ago, and we just got our print started. This is a 16-minute print. It's finishing now. Can't ask for anything else, right? Came out of the box. We slapped a print on it, and it just worked. No problems. So appreciate all who stopped by, all who hung out. This is the end of the road, looks like, for us. We're going to snap this print off. We're going to give it a look, and then we'll say fare thee well, and we'll see everyone Friday for the Comgrow T500 stream. I'm excited about that. This was a little surgical, this stream, you know. We wanted to make sure it's good because I think this is a beginner-focused stream or beginner-focused printer. I really want to make sure that we do our the proper research on this because if it's going to be for a beginner, we need to do that. That T500, that's just hell's bell. It's just everything against the wall on that one. We're just going to have fun with that thing because that ain't for beginners. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how I'm not going to have a good experience. The only problem I've seen so far is the quality control. The bed was super loose, and the after I did the live Z offset adjustment, it kept the bed in the hot end running at 140 and 65, I think, and that's annoying. That shouldn't happen. But minor gripe. All right, presenting our print for us. Thank you. So this is the polycarbonate build sheet. B. Cuddy told us that. It's not PEI. It's fine, though. It obviously sticks really well. I mean, look. It sticks really well. Sometimes too well, though. I've had that problem. So not a bad-looking cube. Let's get a closer look. Get tacos, get beer. Yeah, I think Friday is going to be a beer stream. I ain't going to lie. So I don't want to promote drinking beer on stream. I don't know who's watching this, how old you are, but it's going to be an adults drink responsibly stream, I think. So, yeah, get some tacos. I might get one of those burritos with French fries in it. I love them. We're going to enjoy. We're going to have a good time. So here is our cube. Not bad at all. See, that's the problem with these bed sheets. They overstick. You got to put something down to between a release agent of sorts between the bed and the print, which is usually glue. You know, glue is not always used for adhesion. Actually, very rarely is it nowadays used for adhesion. It's mostly used as a release agent. And that's why I don't like this, because I don't want to put all that glue over it, because it just looks awful. I mean, look at this. Look at this. All right, we got it. So this is going to be a PEI. I have a million PEI beds. I'm just going to change it over. Did we take some of the bed with us? No. At the bottom. Try and get you a good view of this. I hope you can see this. It's not a bad cube. If we go from the top down look, I mean, the top layer looks really nice. Looks very, very nice. We do have rounded edges, and that's just pressure advance. I don't know that Clipper, I mean, Clipper has linear advance. I mean, Marlin has linear advance, right? So if this is available to us, that's something we should look into. The layers look really nice, though. I love the layering. I don't see any Z-banding or anything like that, temperature issues. But I can see these like really deep pockets right here, which is just prevalent of, whatchamacallit, of pressure advance, that's all, or linear advance. So that's something we definitely need. But this printed really nice. This is it's a 20 by 20 cube, right? What are we doing here? But it's not bad at all. Our bottom layer from that Z-Auto offset, I don't know if you can, I really hope this is coming. It's nice. It's a nice first layer. So the Z-Auto calibration did a great job. Again, no banding. Top layer looks really nice. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Didn't like the quality control there, but ultimately I am very happy with this printer. So far. I mean, it went in, it did our thing. So, are these cube prints a callback to the Tytler movie franchise Cube? You know they are. No, they're not. No one's caught in these, in some sort of endless game of cat and mouse. How many Cube movies are there? How many Cube movies are there? Like, there's got to be at least 3, I know. But there's probably like 6. Cube, The Final Frontier. No, we're not doing root beer. When you give the winner a choice to keep Clipper. Yeah, Frank, I did that last time with the heck's the name of that printer? The Longer. So I did both. I had Marlin and Clipper, and I think whoever took it, whoever won it, wanted it on Marlin, but I gave him all the configs for Clipper, and I think he switched it over. He or she had, I believe it was a man. I think they switched it over to Clipper ultimately, but they wanted the pie, I think was the thing, and I ain't giving pies away right now, unfortunately, even though I have a ton of zeros. So yeah, that's what I would do. So likely, I mean, I'm not going to keep this printer. I mean, maybe I will, because I like keeping printers like this, because if they're out there in the community, I can mess with this, and then I can tell you all how that's working, and then maybe we all can mess with it together. But ultimately, I have too many printers. My wife's going to kick me or the printers out at some point, so some of them got to go. I also have another bed slinger coming later down the line. It's a JG Maker printer. We're going to do a stream on that. I'm a little more worried about it, just for the price point and everything. But right now, happy with this, satisfied with this. We're going to look further into it. I thank everyone for coming, for stopping by. Colin, for the super thanks, I salute you. Thank you so much. Everyone that was here, I appreciate it. If you missed some of it, go back in the VODs. It'll be up tomorrow. 3 known movies. Many more reside within. Yeah, that's true. The Cube movies, I guess, are endless. We're signing off for now. We'll see everyone Friday, hopefully, for the T500 stream. Thank you very much. See you next time. I need a better sign-off. And like a closing screen. So I'm going to go, see you next time. And then it'll be like an ending screen. Oh, I lost my desktop audio, huh? All right. Apologies all around. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it.